Hey guys, it's Elena. Today I'm going to show you how to install an invisible zipper. I will show you how to do it in just a couple steps, including how to customize the length and how to put it in so that it matches up and looks actually invisible. Okay, so here I have my invisible zipper. It is 20 to 22 inches. I got white just so that I could have something contrasting. So first I'm going to show you how you can customize any zipper length, and it's actually really super easy. So obviously the zipper is very long, far longer than I need. So if I had a garment that was probably, it'd be bigger than this, but if I wanted to match this zipper to this piece of fabric that I have, I would line it up and then kind of measure about where I want that end to be. So I will line this up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and pin where I want that end to be. So I'd probably do it about here. You want to give yourself a little bit of some wiggle room. So I'm just going to mark that with a pin and then go in with my sewing machine and stop there, because we basically want something similar to this. There's just, a plastic piece here that is making it so the zipper stops. So we want something similar, a little bit higher. I am going to set my machine to a zigzag stitch, set it to move very little, and then I will put my foot down and kind of hand crank first so that I make sure that my zigzag stitch is large enough. See, it's catching a little bit, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit wider. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go back and forth and use my back stitch button so that I do a zigzag stitch just in a little piece. Okay, that should be good. Just for reference, I do have white string on top and blue string on the bottom, and this is what it looks like. I have just a little chunk of stitch here, and now when you zip it, it will stop here. And then what you can do is just trim it about an inch or two below that. Then you have some excess. And then now here you have a custom size zipper. Before you sew your zipper down to your fabric, I find that it is easiest to first iron open the teeth a little bit and open this up, because we're going to sew down in this divot. So flip your zipper to the other side, and then kind of with your fingers, kind of pull this part, these teeth down. And you're going to take a hot iron and try to just iron this open a little bit. Don't hold it on too long, just because you don't want to burn your zipper or melt anything. But I find that this step does help. And you can kind of tell the difference here. This one is sticking out just a little bit more, and that's what we want. So once you have your zipper ironed and the length is where you want it, we will want our zipper ultimately to open up kind of like this, so that we want a really nice clean folded edge along our zipper teeth. So to do that, we want to open up the zipper and pin the zipper right side together to our fabric, and you'll kind of line it up just a little bit down from the top, and then line it up with the raw edge of your fabric. Here you have our zipper totally pinned. right sides together, lined up with the edge. And then what we will do is start here at the top and sew all the way down as far as you can. So when sewing an invisible zipper, I highly recommend that you use a zipper foot instead of your normal traditional presser foot. And the reason why is because it has these two channels right here. And this is so that you have a spot to feed the teeth of your zipper through. I highly recommend picking up one of these if you don't already have one. They're not very expensive. So I have my invisible zipper foot on, and basically what I'm going to do is start here at the top, and as you can see, the teeth of the zipper will kind of slide right through this channel. And then my foot will come down and go right along these teeth. So once I have it in, I can just go ahead and start stitching and go ahead and do back stitch as well. Once you get to the bottom and you can't go any further, just back stitch a couple times. And then you're good to go. So we have our first stitches. You can see that it's very close to the teeth. You can't even really see it unless you peel this back a little bit. And then from the back side, it's all nice and straight and even. We have one side done, and now we need to do the other side. Sometimes it's helpful to zip this up, just so you can kind of get a feel for where your fabric needs to sit. So we want to put these right sides together so that it can kind of open up like a book, like this. So sometimes it's helpful for me to kind of pinch it here so I know where it should be going. And then just like before, we are going to pin the right side of our zipper to the right side of our fabric. So front of the zipper, and then we are going to turn it like this. And just like before, we're going to line it up with the top and with the edge. It is very important here to make sure that we are lining up and making the top of our zipper even with the top of our fabric. So I think this is about right for me. I'm just lining it up, eyeballing it, or you could use a measuring tape and then pinch and just go ahead and start pinning. So once we have this all completely pinned, I usually find that it's helpful to zip this up just to make sure that it is all even. This is a little bit challenging. And it should sit really nicely. Open up your zipper, and then just like before, we are going to sew along the teeth. Last time, we put our teeth in this left channel. This time, since we are sewing on our right side of the zipper, we're going to put our teeth on the right side of this channel so that we can put our stitches along here, the left side of the teeth. Just like before, sew as much as you can, and then when you get to this bottom, go ahead and backstitch up and down. Once you're at this point, you've officially done the hardest part. And this is also kind of the scariest part in the moment of truth. I always think it's best to go ahead and zip it up at this point and make sure that everything is looking super nice, crisp, and clean. And here we go. Look at this. Super nice invisible zipper. So the last step is to finish off this bottom part. If this were a skirt or a dress, this would be closed, and so you would zip it down until you get to the bottom, and then you can slip the garment on your body. So what we're going to do is pull this zipper tail out, line up the edges of your fabric, and I'm actually going to pin this. And what we're going to do is sew up from the bottom and try to connect to this line. This line is very close to our zipper, so you probably won't be able to get exactly up to it, but try to line it up as good as you possibly can. I'm just going to use my normal foot and sew from the bottom and line it up with this seam here. One last step before you are totally done is I find it's best to attach your hanging zipper to this flap of fabric. That way it doesn't come undone and doesn't pull up every time you try to zip up your garment. So flip your garment around, and we are just going to sew with our machine right here. So it is one side of this flap to the left side of this zipper, and then we will do it the same on the other side. Okay guys, here is the finished invisible zipper. I think it actually turned out really nice. The top is lined up, the bottom is attached, and it is invisible. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if there are any other tutorials that you would like me to make.